When you first open Premiere, the first thing you see is the workspace. And just like you organize your files, it's nice to have a custom workspace that suits your needs to minimize clicking. This is the default editing workspace. It works, but it is not my favorite. Here's why. I think there's some wasted space, and clicking around to different tabs you use often is inefficient. For example, in the top left window, I have Source, Effect Controls, Audio Clip Mixer, and Metadata. Here, I hardly ever use metadata, and I hardly ever use the Audio Clip Mixer. So having them open is just giving room for lost time on a stray click. So I would close metadata, I would close Audio Clip Mixer, and leave Effect Controls and Source open. Down here in Project, we have Media Browser, Libraries, Info, Effects, Markers, History. All this is open. And if I need to get to Effects, I have to scroll over. And I use Effects a lot. Here, I see all my pointer tools. And by using keyboard shortcuts, I don't need to click any of these, so it's also wasted space for me. Here, the timeline is pretty small. And the audio meter at the bottom right, I only need when I'm concentrating on getting the audio levels perfect at the end of the piece. So this is the layout that I use. It works for me, but it might not work for you. I have my program monitor large and to the right, with no added buffer space on the left or right. And I have my source monitor a little bit smaller, since that's not what I need to be concentrating on. I have my effects controls always open for quick changes, and the effects themselves are right next to it for convenience. I don't need a wide project window, and my timeline is the maximum width. Watch yourself editing. Where do you click the most? What do you need to see details of? Where do you need to maximize space? This works well for me, but find the best workspace for you, and then go up to Window, Workspaces, and save that workspace. That workspace works most of the time, except when I'm concentrating on color. When I start going into color grading, I use Premiere's default color workspace. I have the scopes on the left, and all the Lumetri color controls on the right, so I can go through shot by shot and adjust everything. Once I'm done, I go back to my favorite workspace. And by the way, this workspace has changed over time. Before, it looked a little different, but it has evolved after I've gotten more and more efficient with what I'm doing. And another one I created is vertical editing, for when I'm working with vertical video. You may want to start with the default editing workspace, make a few tweaks, and then save your workspace by clicking Save a New Workspace and naming it. Then, if you make a lot of changes you don't like, you can always click here, reset to saved layout, and get back to what you saved. Every once in a while, I'll open my layout and none of the windows will be there. But when I click reset to saved layout, everything will be adjusted just like I had it saved.